Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time seeing me, don't forget to give this video a heart and please do turn on my post notifications and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, hey, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about psychic abilities and intuition. We are going to talk about kind of how those things are harnessed, the kind of journey that it takes to really come into awareness of these things and also utilizing these things, and my opinions about it and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. I have two Sagittarius dogs and they love to steal the show, so everyone say hi to Luna. Hi Luna, hi. So psychic abilities, basically a byproduct of your intuition. Once you actually start to focus on and really charge your intuition and get stronger with it, boom, your psychic abilities will come in. So pretty much to start accessing your psychic abilities, you really have to start with just straight up listening to your intuition, following your intuition, not questioning your intuition, just blindly following whatever it says. So intuition is something that everybody has, and that is 100% true. I've heard some people, some of my friends through my own experience have been like, oh, you know, I don't think I have a strong sense of intuition, or I don't think I have it at all. I don't have gut feelings and those kind of things. And yes, but no. You, babe, are just not in tune with it. You completely shunned it down. Maybe not consciously, but your body just is not in touch with that intuition. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has innate psychic abilities. And there's actually a handful of psychic abilities that you can have, different ones: clairsentience, clairaudience, claircognizance, and there's like a few more. But you do have psychic abilities and you do have intuition, and all that stuff just has to be unlocked, and that's fine. That's why you're here. Intuition, everybody's got it, right? We've all had those days where we said, hey, maybe I shouldn't go to the grocery store today, and there's a 3-car pile up on the highway and you're like, thank God I didn't go. Or you meet someone for the first time and you're like, I don't know what, but something's off about that person, and you end up hearing from your friend that they were a liar, or they did this or they did that, and you're like, damn, I knew it, right? I knew it. Or maybe you could just tell when someone's straight up lying and you're like, seems like bullshit. Anyway, we are spiritual beings by nature, right? We are energetic beings by nature. So of course everybody has intuition. Of course everybody has psychic abilities. We are our intuition. We are our intuition. There we go. We are that understanding beyond our human form, beyond our physical form, beyond our spiritual form, right? Beyond our soul's form. We are that energy. So of course we can feel it. All we have to do is tap into it. And it all starts with your intuition. And your intuition is something that I think a lot of people don't. One, a lot of people are not really raised to trust their intuition. Nature versus nurture, you know, these things are told to us from a very early time period in our lives that shut it off. We're not listening to it. Whether it's your first imaginary friend, or the fact you might have told your mom you saw an angel when you were a kid. You know, babies especially, they always have a way of being in contact with these realms. And because we are told from an earlier time period these things aren't real, or they're only things that live in our imagination, we shut them down, and we have been taught to shut those things down. So your intuition is something that you've been had, girl. Please, like, it's been there. It is you, but we shut it off. And intuition is not something really after that that's too much nurtured into, or really taken care of, or I kind of picture like a little water bearer. We're not really poured into. That skill is not poured into, and it's a shame, yes, but it's time to wake up, which is also punny, the name of my new podcast that I started a few months ago. So go check that out. Link in bio, link in caption. Can you tell I haven't done YouTube videos in a while? So our intuition not really being nurtured from the time that we are young, and kind of being told to shut off, or that it's not really real, this becomes a program. And some people hold on to this program longer than others, which is why you might hear somebody say, oh, I don't think my intuition is strong, or I don't think I have it at all, or whatever that mindset be. But we are, and it's there in you. It's just, you have stuck with that programming, and that programming has limited your mindset and limited your own belief in yourself, and also all things metaphysical. But so we are kind of taught to shove this thing down, right? So we are not really too comfortable with trusting our intuition naturally, which is why when we have a gut feeling about something, we within seconds will double think it. We will second guess it. I have this rule, the 3-second rule, and it's really, really helped me and I think this has strengthened my intuition, honestly. I will not think about something for longer than 3 seconds. I will just make the decision, because my first answer, I like to think, is my intuition. And the 2 seconds I spend after that thinking about whatever, it's 2 seconds too long. So boom. Trick to teach your intuition. So your intuition not really being nurtured from the time that you were younger. From the time that you were younger, alongside as you are getting older, these things kind of subtly just really being driven to you that they're not real, because, you know, no one's ever sitting there being like yelling at us or reprimanding us for our intuition or our imagination. We're just kind of slowly told no. And that over time kind of snowballs and leads us to where we are now, where all of a sudden we don't trust our intuition and we're constantly overthinking things, and just all this realm of, you know, the experiences that I've seen people have of, oh, I don't even think I have intuition, or like, I don't think I will ever have a psychic ability, which is not true. You have just followed a specific programming, a specific mindset that has told you no. And one, that is so fear-based, and also on purpose, that we are from childhood told that these things aren't real, but that's for a different video. So let me know if you want to hear about that. Anyway, we're told no, and that's fear-based, but it also forces us to not trust ourselves. And that is also a whole connection to the root of why so many people have such a hard time loving themselves and trusting themselves, listening to themselves, taking care of themselves, putting boundaries up for themselves, and, you know, everything that goes along with that. But basics of what I said, we don't trust ourselves and therefore our intuition. And that's why when we are starting to really think about these things, we need to do that work of listening to our intuition and starting to be more in tune with ourselves. Especially, you know, if you are more interested in developing psychic abilities, it all starts with intuition. My brain's kind of all over the place. I just kind of told you about intuition and just the fact that we all do have it, and kind of, you know, why it is we kind of get to a point, why are we even Googling, do we have intuition? You know? So there's some kind of context about intuition itself, but that being said, we have to listen to it more. And the way that we do that, honestly, guys, is just blindly following it. We blindly have to follow it, like blindly, no questions asked, just go with it. And at first that feels absolutely nuts. It literally feels crazy. And the more that I do it, the crazier I'm feeling, but in a better way. So at first, when I first started really listening to my own intuition, I would get into that mode of second guessing myself. And that's, now I'm remembering why I brought up that 3-second rule earlier, is we kind of have a moment where between our gut or our heart, our first instinct reaction, we have this second of, I don't even know, just like invisible space where then our brain kicks in and is like, but, and then your brain starts thinking. And that is essentially what you have to fight when you are first starting to listen to your intuition. And it seems like pretty easy, like, oh, just go with my first feeling. Yeah. Okay, until you're trying to make a decision that's actually important, or it's like a major life event or something that's happening to you, and you're like, is this what's really happening, or blah, 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 blah. When you start to trust your intuition with like big things, way easier said than done, but it is always paying off. So that's kind of why, like I just said, the stronger my own intuition has gotten and I have been blindly following it, especially with like life events, I feel nuts but so secure, because I have gotten to a point where I've strengthened it by just initially blindly following it with little things, that the things that I'm trusting it with have gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. But with it is coming more and more and more accuracy. So I feel crazier, but I feel better. And I feel way more just like I'm falling back into the flow of the universe. And it's great, and it feels scary but safe. And I say scary with a light context here because, you know, everything is a little frightening when we're not in control or know what's going on, but it's not terrifying. It is the most beautiful thing in the world. So one thing that I've learned along my own journey is that everything happens when it's supposed to. I used to find myself Googling a lot of how to open my third eye and how is it I become more intuitive and how do I gain psychic abilities and all of these things. And the biggest thing, everything happens when it's supposed to, but with all of these gifts comes so much responsibility and accountability, even just with intuition itself. You know, it's kind of like pulling back a curtain, and once you pull back that curtain, girl, there is no going back. You cannot pretend you just unsaw everything that you've seen. No, good luck. Which also leads me to the point of everybody has their own set of gifts and abilities, right? So there is a reason that some people can astral travel and talk to spirits that way. And there are people who are really great mediums, and there are people who are only animal readers, or there are people who are soul readers or tarot readers or astrologers. Like, there are so many different ways that we can show up with these tools and abilities. So don't get stuck in what am I? Don't get stuck in what could I be? Don't get stuck in I want to be. Be who you are. Be present in your now moment. And with each passing moment, you don't even have to think about it. You're already doing it. The fact that you said one day, hey, this is something I want to strengthen, or the fact that you're even watching this video right now is clearly a sign that your intuition is doing it right now. Your higher self is doing the work for you in the molecules of your DNA. The second you had a thought about it, bing. That being said, there is a lot of responsibility that comes with getting more in tune with your spirituality and spiritual self and developing your psychic abilities and your intuition. And you know, once you have seen the things you have seen, you cannot unsee them. It literally becomes your purpose to let everybody know what you have seen. Like, there's no going back. And that's a lot of accountability. And, you know, while you're learning about everybody else and calling things out that you are seeing, you are also being directly reflected back to you through those things and experiences, everything in yourself that needs changing and healing, because you start seeing through the facade of who you think you are and who you think everyone else is and what you think your reality is. And all of those things that come with psychic abilities and really strong intuition is really overwhelming. Like, this path is not for the weak, you know. It is for the strongest of warriors. Like, imagine if everybody had intuition, like, or not had intuition. I literally just said everybody does. If everybody was in touch with their intuition, if everybody was in touch with their intuition and everybody was psychic, like the good, the bad, everybody. So, like I just said, everything will happen when it is supposed to on its own divine timing. Don't try to rush this process. Everybody is at where they are supposed to be. Otherwise, they would be elsewhere. And that is something that I have really understood in a different way lately. It's one of my favorite sayings, but especially when it comes to something like this. Your intuition will develop when it's supposed to develop. It doesn't matter how many times you read about how to open your third eye or get more in tune with yourself. It'll be a little life experience one day when you're not even thinking about it, that you make a decision based off of your gut feeling. That moment is what's going to develop your intuition, or some other big moment you might have. You know, it's going to happen when it's supposed to on its own divine timing. So the same will happen with your psychic abilities. If everybody was meant to be at a different level, they would be there. So with these things, intuition and psychic abilities, that requires a lot of healing. And we can go about that in any method that we want. In fact, I encourage you to use your intuition to see which route you are guided down. You know, are you into journaling techniques? Are you into yoga? Are you into herbs? Are you into tarot cards? Are you into astrology? There are so many different ways in which we can really sit down and start to begin to heal ourselves. I also do recommend inner child healing because, like I had mentioned earlier, we do lose a lot of these gifts and abilities when we are younger because they are kind of programmed almost out of us. So that being said, if you start to get in touch with that inner child self where things started to get lost, you will then start to retrieve them again. So that is just another tip. But yeah, listen to your intuition and start to ask yourself, you know, like, what is it that I'm drawn to? Pay attention to everything you're drawn to, by the way. But pay attention to what method of healing is great for you. And with each level of healing that you start to climb the ladder of, you will be given a new set of responsibilities within your intuition and your psychic abilities, aka using it more and in more important and heavier situations. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. I also would advise to, you know, start with the obvious. Start meditating. Even if it's a 10-minute guided meditation, that really helped me in the beginning, just following another voice so my thoughts weren't going all over the place. But 10-minute guided meditation, journal right afterwards and journal just what feelings came up for you. Start getting used to the voice in your head. Start getting used to all the different things it could say and just getting familiar with it and how it speaks to you, what it's saying to you. This is how you start to strengthen your understanding and awareness of your actual self, aka your intuition and also all of your abilities. So start with the obvious, start doing the work, start doing the healing. Everything will come to you naturally. You already have this beautiful internal GPS. You have these abilities that you're looking to develop here. So everything is already within you. Once you start to do this work, everything will start to work out for you, best case scenario, and you'll be given exactly what you are supposed to when you are supposed to. Otherwise, you would be receiving something else. That's everything I really have to say about intuition and psychic abilities for now. I can definitely make a video talking about the different types of psychic abilities, kind of as a guideline of like, is this something you have? Or which one do you have? Rather, I should propose the question as, because like I said, we all have it. So I will definitely be posting one of those. And thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you liked it. Please do like and subscribe and turn on my post notifications. I will be posting videos once a week. If you guys have any comments, please do post below. If you have any questions, video suggestions, you know where to put it. Thank you guys so much again, and sending you all my infinite light and love. Blessings.